We are joined right now by a free agent defensive end. He has played 7 years in the NFL for the Jags, the Vikings, the Ravens, the Raiders, the Colts. He was taken number 69 overall by the Jags out of Maryland. He was a Pro Bowler in 2017, coming off a year where he had 29 tackles, 8 for a loss, 9.5 sacks, and a forced fumble, 65 career sacks. Yannick Ngakoue is my guest. Yannick, good to have you back, man. How are you?
How you doing, Jim? Appreciate you having me.
Good to have you, dude. How you feeling?
I'm feeling excellent, just enjoying, life, enjoying, being alive and being able to spend time with family.
That is so true. Being above ground is a good thing. I agree with you. So normally this time of year, though, you're gearing up for training camp. So what's your headspace like as you consider all your options as a free agent? What's that part of it like?
Giving a lot of it to the man above, giving it to God. He orders my steps. And, right now, just staying in shape and, communicating with my agent. I have a great agent, Mr. Drew Rosenhaus, and, we go back and forth every day about, how it's going to look at the end. So I'm just ready and getting myself prepared to be able to help, wherever I sign, get to a Super Bowl.
All right, so it's been a number of years. I used to talk to Drew quite a bit. In fact, he used to come on my shows. There was one show that Drew came on when he was part of a panel, and we came out of a commercial break. We were in the commercial break, and Drew was like, come on, let's go, let's get it. Like he's coaching everybody up, and he just walked in to be a part of the panel. Like, there's nobody like this guy. What's he been like for you to work with?
He's great, man. He's a guy that communicates really well. He reciprocates information really well to you. So me and him have a lot of things in common as far as our work ethic and as well as just our focus on what we do for a living. He's a great agent, and I feel like I really take a lot of focus and pride in what I do for a living as far as, just playing football and being a great teammate. So I feel like it was a really great fit for both of us.
All right, so in terms of what you do for a living, I'm looking at the numbers. You've got 19.5 sacks over the last 2 seasons. So do you think that whoever ends up with you is getting the best version of you?
Every year, man, I'm trying to strive to become, the best version of myself. There's always things that we can do, to upgrade ourselves and be better than what we were last year. So, whoever ends up picking me up, and allowing me to get in the locker room and lead these men, we'll get a guy that's just, selfless and a guy that's just ready to, fly 100 miles per hour on the field.
All right, so that's what they'll get if they bring you in. What's your priority in looking for your next team? In other words, what is most important to you at this point in your career?
What's most important to me, man, is just, being a servant leader, giving back the information that I've learned over the years to the young guys and being able to, bring a championship to whatever city I end up in, man. That's the biggest thing for me, going forward in my career.
So, you've played for 5 teams in the last 4 years. So how important is stability and possibly laying down some roots somewhere? Is that something you're looking to do?
Absolutely, man. Everybody wants a home. Everybody wants to be able to just play football and not really worried about the business side of things. So, I feel like I have the great representation to be able to, get that situated and sorted for me. So at the right now at this time, I'm just making sure, like I said, that I'm staying in shape, doing all the things that I need to do to be effective for, wherever team I end up in.
Yannick Ngakoue is my guest. When you look at this, you became just the 5th player in NFL history to record 8 or more sacks in each of your first 7 years. Others include alphas like Reggie White, Aaron Donald, Derek Thomas, and DeMarcus Ware. In other words, some of the best to ever do it. What's it represent to you to join that club?
It's a blessing. God has allowed me to stay healthy. And, at the end of the day, man, it's just, a team thing. It's a team sport. 4 equals 1, 4 D linemen getting to the football. I've been able to be blessed to play with some great defensive ends and D tackles throughout my career. Malik Jackson, Calais Campbell, guys like that. In Vegas, I was able to play, across with Max. It's just a blessing. I've been able to, build and create relationships with guys that are great football players.
You mentioned I could ask you about any of the guys you just mentioned, but what about Max Crosby? Like, this dude has turned himself into an amazing force, like a dominant force. What do you make of the way he's developed and as quickly as he's done it?
Man, I'm not surprised at all, man. I saw the work ethic when I was in Vegas. Really good work ethic. Guy that's passionate about the game, guy that studies a lot, man. So I have a lot of respect for him. I'm not surprised the success he's had, man, and I'm expecting a lot of more success to come for that kid.
I'm going to shoot you straight. I'm a little bit shocked, given what you've accomplished, that you're still available. Why are you still available? What's going on?
I'm not sure, man. That's a question for, not me. It's a question for, I guess whoever makes those decisions. Right now, the only thing I can control is staying in shape, being in the best shape that I've been in my whole career, and, being able to be a force when I touch the field again.
All right, you know this as well as anybody. You're not going to get to where you are if you're constantly thinking about things that are out of your control, right? You can only control what you can control, and this is not something you can control, just your effort, your work ethic, your attitude. But as you look around the league, you know what teams need. You know what they're looking for. Do you see an ideal landing spot for you?
Any team in the NFL is an ideal landing spot for me. It's a blessing to be able to work any job in the NFL. You know what I mean? Being able to go and practice with a team, to be able to go through a walkthrough, to be able to go through film study. It's a blessing. It doesn't matter what organization. For me in particular, it's just me being able to just play again with the team is a great opportunity for me. So I have my sights set on nothing but whoever calls me and is ready to, bring me in.
I can appreciate that response. Speaking of the work in the film room, you get after it in the weight room, you get after it in the film room. How much of your willingness to grind comes directly from your mother, Marlene, who emigrated to the U.S. from Martinique and often worked multiple jobs while you were growing up to provide these opportunities for you?
Yeah, man. My mom, she is the strongest person I know, and she's been through a lot. And to be able to see her, watch me grow up to this young man is a blessing, because it's all of that credibility goes to her. She's the reason why I was able to go to football practice every day, get picked up and dropped off from, and make sure that I had food in my stomach. Regardless of the lack of resources that we had, she did it all. And just to see that she never made an excuse when it came to waking up early and dropping off her two boys, making sure that they got to school on time, as well as making sure that she got to work on time, that was instilled in me. So, I give all my credit and all my love to her, because if it wasn't for Marlene, I wouldn't even be in this position, man.
That's awesome. That is so selfless of her, too. So you mentioned what it was like with the Raiders. I want to ask you about last season. I know you're looking ahead, not looking back, but last season with the Colts was wild, man. Like, going through an in-season coaching change is challenging enough, but then you bring in Jeff Saturday from his TV studio to serve as the interim coach for the final 8 games. Have you ever experienced anything like that before in your football life?
Yeah, man. Football is all about adversity and all about how you respond to adversity. In Vegas, we had a lot of events as well that occurred, and we were still able to go to the playoffs. So, adversity, I feel like it brings people closer or it brings people apart from each other, and that's the beautiful thing about it. So last year, it's normal, man. The NFL, anything can happen. As far as even in a football game, anything can happen. A team can be down 30 points and come back and win a game. So it's just all about how you respond.
It's really interesting, actually, right? That the normal is that nothing's normal. Every single year something happens. How do you think that group did respond? I mean, the record would indicate not great, but what was actually going on in that locker room? Were guys pulling together, or were they maybe ripping apart? Were there fissures?
I would say guys fought as best as they could, man. It was, sometimes you have your years when you have a 16-1 record, or a record that's not as well. But at the end of the day, man, it's like I said from the second response, it's all about how you respond, man. And I'm rooting for those guys this year. I hope they have a tremendous year, a tremendous season, and I hope they land farther than where they were last year, man. I'm just rooting for those guys. So. Nothing bad to say.
No, I hear you. I wonder about the numbers, right? I mentioned your numbers, big numbers. Given that football is the ultimate team game, and you made it really clear, you're looking for the right opportunity, but just to be on a team where you can be a servant leader. But what about the numbers? Like, do you go into each season with a goal of getting double-digit sacks? How do you approach those personal benchmarks?
Honestly, man, this just goes back to just studying your film and seeing what you could have done better the year before. And, just going back to the things you did well. And you have to break those things down and critique yourself in every way possible to try to, be the best version of yourself every time you go on the field. Me personally, I'm not a guy that's trying to reach a certain number. I'm just a guy that's trying to put out the best film as possible that I can put out. So numbers come when you put the work in, you put the time in, you put the film study in.
Well, there certainly have been numbers the last few years, especially 9.5 sacks, a forced fumble last year, 65 career sacks. He is a free agent defensive end right now. Yannick Ngakoue is my guest. Yanni, good to have you back. I know you're going to land somewhere soon. Appreciate the conversation. Good luck. I know we'll do it again soon.
Thank you so much, man. God bless.
You too. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and hit the bell to be the first to know when we do upload a new video.